All right, peace. What's good, DJ Vlad?
What up, Jamar?
Yes, this is my first time on the other side of the camera. And yeah, you're the interviewee this time. I like this. What's good, brother?
Yep.
What's happening?
Well, a little bit of craziness going on in my world.
Yes, I heard about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, you know, our brother that we both know, Glasses Malone, who I just want to say had hit me up a little while, like some months ago, to get on a song that him and one of his mans was doing. I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was the son of somebody famous. But anyway, I can't remember the brother's name right now, but the song was banging. I got on the song. I ended up telling him, yo, come get on a song that I got. Or no, I just had a beat, actually. He got on it. Fire. You know what I mean? And I was totally happy. Then, now this was months ago. Could have been almost a year ago. He actually shared a song with me called Banned from Vlad TV.
Which you never mentioned to me, by the way.
Because I kind of forgot about it. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, this shit was, now that it came up, it's like, oh yeah. Like, I did hear that fucking song. But it wasn't like, you know what I mean? And at the time, we wasn't speaking anyway, so.
Right. Well, it wasn't just a song, it was a whole album. It was multiple songs.
Huh?
It's a whole album. It's like actually multiple songs.
Well, I took it at, when it was delivered to me, it seemed like it was one song. Now they seem like they've cut it up.
Yeah.
Because the song was kind of long, so I guess they cut it up into segments, but basically it was a song.
Got it.
And I must say, I thought the beat was banging. I thought what he was saying was, as a rapper, was dope. He was saying it in a creative way. He was telling a story. The shit was hip hop, okay? The shit was hip hop, and I was fucking with it, all right? But now fast forward, you know, I never heard it come out, so I thought it was just one of those things that sometimes people make shit, and it never fucking comes out. But lo and behold, fast forward to now, it did come out. He did put it out.
Yep.
And inside this song, you know, the part that really sticks out, I think, to a lot of people is where he tells a tale that you basically wanted to borrow a gun from him because you walked in on your girl getting piped out by a brother, and that you were so infuriated that you wanted to kill this man. And so you went to him and asked him for a firearm, and he, out of discretion, told you no. And because he told you no, you kind of was salty with him for the past some odd years. So now I ask you, Vlad, now I'm not here to get in the middle of y'all shit, but I'm just asking you because you say, I'd like to hear your version of the events, because they always say there's two sides to every story. So what is your version of the events, Vlad? And shout out to my man Glasses.
Okay. So I've always kept Glasses' name out of the story, just not to embarrass him in any kind of fashion in terms of how it worked out, right? But this is what really happened. And I've told this story, this home invasion story, probably about a dozen times over the years on my platform. My stories always stay the same. So
that's
let me
what
go
you
ahead
call getting your pussy taken home invasion? Go ahead, I just had to hit you. Go ahead,
okay, so this is what happened. And let me kind of give you the big picture here. I met Glasses around 2005 when he was, I guess, signed to the Game on Black Wall Street. It was like Black Wall Street, Blue Division. He was like a Crip, signed to a bunch of Bloods. I got to know him. I featured him on multiple mixtapes. We kept in contact. I thought he was a cool rapper. We got along fine. I started transitioning into DVDs right around 2006, 2007. And right around 2007, I went to his block in Watts and I interviewed him on his block with a bunch of his homies around and everything else like that. As it so happens, right around that time, I had met a girl and we went out on a date. We hit it off. We went on a second date. I spent the night at her house. She had mentioned she had an ex-boyfriend or whatever. It didn't really seem like a big deal. In the middle of the night, as I was sleeping at her house, I'm naked, she wakes me up and says, someone's at my window. I go to the window, I pull back the curtain.
And this is like a first floor type of window?
Second floor.
Second floor.
Second floor. We got to understand, I'm in her place. I get woken up at 3 a.m.
This is a Cali house? How are they at the second floor window? Paint the picture.
This dude climbed up the balconies.
Fuck.
He had basically what happened was she lived in a condo complex and
condo.
It was like she had 2 parking spots and one spot was right behind the other. So he was trying to call her all day. She wasn't picking up. He showed up, saw another car behind her car. So he knew someone was at the house and out of like a jealous whatever, he ended up climbing up the balconies to see who she was with.
He Spider-Man.
He Spider-Man up the balconies.
Wow, that must have been some good pussy.
When I go to the window and I pull back the curtain, the window is open and there's a dude on the balcony staring at me, right? He was a black guy. This is true, right? I mean, she was black as well, you know? So I'm staring at him. He's staring at me. And then he ends up taking a swing at me and punching me and jumping in through the window and attacking me. She runs out and leaves me to die. You know, as he's like trying to punch me more, he's saying he just got out of prison. He's asking me if I'm ready to die. He's going to kill me. He was acting like he had a gun.
Whoa.
So I, you know, went into a survival mode.
What's going through your mind at this point?
What's that?
What's going through your mind at that moment?
I thought I was going to die. That was the only time in my life that I thought that this was going to be it. This is how it all ends. Some crazy ex-boyfriend of some girl that I just met is going to kill me over a jealous rage.
Damn. Did you pee-pee a little bit?
Go ahead.
I said, did you pee-pee a little bit?
No. I mean, at one point I went to a calm and I realized it's going to be either him or me. And I'm not going to go into details as to what happened, but it got extremely violent to the point where when it all stopped, I thought that I had killed him. I thought there was a dead body on the floor. I was completely covered in blood.
Whoa.
Like, yeah, it was, yeah. I have cuts on my eye and on my hand from that night. It was a really, really, it was the most violent thing I've ever gone through, right?
You went to your Vlad the Butcher shit on that, huh?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm naked this whole time when all this is happening. I grabbed the sheet off the bed. You know, the sheet is now got blood all over it. I run outside. She had ran next door and called the police. So by the time I get outside, the police are arriving. She comes out.
She didn't leave you for dead. She went to call the police.
She went to call, but at that moment, I thought she had left me for dead. I mean, and in retrospect, had he killed me, the police would arrive too late. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. I mean, I understand. It was a crazy situation.
What she was supposed to do? Fight with you?
I think she could have got like a knife or, you know, a bottle or something and try to help me. Like, this was her house. But whatever. It is what it is, right?
Yeah. Her mind, it was police. But all right, go ahead.
It's fine. It's fine. The police arrive. You know, we both tell, you know, our version of the story. It's, you know, confirmed that this guy doesn't live here, that he had, you know, jumped in through the window and so forth. They go to the condo unit. They find him. He's still breathing. He's still alive, but he's really, really fucked up. And they handcuff him and they walk him out. And then they basically tell me I'm free to leave because it was self-defense, right? So my adrenaline is still going. After this whole situation, I go back to my friend's place that I'm staying at. She calls me and she says, listen, I still have your wallet at your house. Because think about it, I left the place naked.
Right. In a hurry. Yeah.
So she's like, I have your wallet and I kind of want to talk to you about what happened. Can we meet up and can we talk? So you got to understand, based on what I just went through, I'm really paranoid. I'm thinking, okay, if I meet her, is the guy going to be there? Did he make bail and call her up and now they're going to go set me up? Did he call one of his friends to get revenge by, driving behind her or something? I didn't know what was happening. I'm not from LA, right? At that point, I was just visiting LA. So I didn't know too many people. I didn't know the landscape like that. So I'm thinking, well, who do I know that could come with me and offer some level of backup or something when I go meet with her? I'm thinking, well, I know Glasses Malone. I just interviewed him. We've known each other for a few years. We have a good working relationship. I featured him on multiple projects. He's a Crip. I'd been to his block. He pushes that whole like gangster narrative and so forth. So I said, well, let me call him up and see if he could come with me.
So this wasn't your girl. This was just a girl.
It was not my girl. It was my wife. It wasn't. This was a second date.
This guy walked in on y'all.
He walked in on us. The whole story that Glasses is saying that I found a dude banging my girl, and I was like, this is absolutely false. Like the whole premise. Now, this is a 20-year-old conversation, though, so I can understand maybe he got it twisted up or something, but that's not what happened. He stormed in on us. So I call him, and I'm like, listen, this is what happened to me. The girl is asking me to meet her. Can you come with me? I never mentioned a gun. I never told him to bring a gun. I definitely didn't ask him to give me a gun. I said, can you come with me? And his response was, the guy you beat up, where's he from? I said, hell if I know. Dude jumped into a window. I could even,
He's from outside.
He's from outside, right? I have no idea where he's from. And he's like, well,
he's from right outside that window.
Right outside that window. And he's like, well, Howard, meet me on my block. And I'm like, I'm not going to ask this middle-class girl to go out to Watts, to your block, to meet you. She's not going to do it. So I'm like, all right, I get it. Like, you don't want to do it. That's cool. Clearly, our relationship is not that. It's just business. And that's cool. I understand. I may have felt a little bit something in the moment, but I get it. Who knows?
Well, hang on. Let's stop right there for a second.
Yeah.
Just stop right there.
Go ahead.
If he would have fucking called you and been like, yo, Vlad, I need you to come with me on a fucking drive-by or some shit, would you have gone? Based on y'all's relationship that you had for a couple of years.
I would not go on a drive-by.
I'm just saying.
With anyone. My best friend. My kids I would not go to a drive-by with, okay? All right? Like, no, my mom I would not go on a drive-by with.
Do you understand the premise? What I'm saying is, first of all, that was not a bad question that he asked. Where is these motherfuckers from? Who are they? He's trying to get some clarity as far as what is the danger level? Because we are here in LA. He knows that it's fucking real. You might not be from LA, but he knows what the fuck was as far as the politics. So he was probably trying to get a lay of the land and all that type of shit.
Yeah.
And
fair enough.
I could understand you wanting him to hold you down and all that. But if he did say no, I
get it. We were not like close friends. Right. We were really just business associates.
Right.
So I get it. Yeah, in the moment, I was a little bit like flustered about it, but I'm like, okay, I get it. And that was it. I remember I called up my publicist at the time, Nancy Byron, who was like a 45-year-old white woman, and she's like, I'll go with you. So where's it at?
Yeah, because she don't know no fucking better.
Right. But, she was more gangster than him at that moment. But whatever. Right. But so what happened was I said, something, we're just going to meet at a public location. We go to like a mall. We meet up. She gives me my things back. We have a short conversation. Ultimately, nothing happens that moment. Me and the guy, he gets charged with a whole bunch of stuff. And the three of us have a phone call before his trial. And he asked me if I was going to testify, and I told him no. I said, I'm not going to testify. I already told the DA I'm not cooperating. I live in a different state. So whatever, as far as I'm concerned, me and you are even, right? Because I wasn't trying to send him to jail and have him come out or whatever else. It was like, yo, he did what he did. I did what I did. It was cool. We're done. He ended up getting probation at the end of the day, so he didn't end up doing any jail time. Everything's fine.
For Spider-Manning.
For Spider-Man, right?
And the first degree.
The thing about it was, I had no, from after that moment, I really didn't have any sort of real animosity towards Glasses at all because I understood what it was about. That interview we did came out on Vlad TV like 2 years later or a year later. So if I was mad at him, why would I put out the interview? And then in 2011, and all this is on the channel, like we'll show a little clip of it.
It's your nigga GLA $$ Eastside. You already know, man. Glass House, YMCMB.
I interviewed him again in 2011. Remember, this happened like 2007. So explain to me how I'm mad about that and I banned him when there's multiple interviews of him on the channel.
Right. Well, first of all, I don't think that the title banned from Vlad TV should be taken literally. It's a pun on banned from TV. Like that was the
Nori?
Famous freestyle. Yeah, the Nori shit.
Yeah.
Banned from TV. So I think banned from Vlad TV was just a play on that title. So he was using a famous hip hop title and just put the Vlad in there. I don't think he's trying to say that he was literally banned from the channel.
Well, I mean, he did mention something like, oh, when I was doing this, I heard Vlad's not fucking with me. And it's like, yo, that's not the case. The reality is
Did you ever tell anybody anything like that? Like, oh, I'm not really fucking with.
No, I mean.
He didn't hold me down.
No, not to an extent. In fact, me and him had a conversation about it a while later, and he said he doesn't even remember that. So we had a quick conversation. I'm like, well, at the time I kind of felt some type of way, but I understand. And we were never all that close, but we never had any sort of friction between us. I mean, look, we put out those clips on the channel. They didn't really do big numbers, unfortunately, And it's like when you look at Glasses' career, he started out right around the same time as Game, but he never blew up in that same fashion. You see? Or rappers like YG or whatever else. And then on the media side, he's never become like a big media personality that gets millions of views and so forth. I mean, when you look at the Spotify numbers on Banned from Vlad TV, each song has like 1,000 views. Like his last album, bunch of features, very low views all throughout. And when it comes to, my company, like, yes, I have people I know and I'm cool with, but ultimately it's a business. So every person I interview, they're not paying for that interview. I'm financing the interview. So if it doesn't do big numbers, or if it doesn't have the potential to do big numbers, it's not an interview that I could do because I'm going to end up ultimately losing money on it. So it had nothing to do with I'm mad at him, I banned him, whatever else. He just hasn't really done big numbers. So that's why he hasn't gotten on the platform in the last whatever decade or so. It just is what it is. So the only reason I'm even addressing this is because there's like this narrative of Vlad wanted to kill a black man because he caught him in bed with his wife and he got a gangster to try to get an illegal gun. I'm like, yo, this is just insanity because none of this, like, yes, I talked to him, but none of that other shit ever happened. The premise is wrong. There was no gun involved in the questioning. It was just like, yo, can you just show up? And to answer your question, because you asked, if I had someone I was cool with and they said to come with me, I would probably do it. I've had situations where people I was with got jumped and got attacked. I've jumped in and pushed people off of them and stuff like that. Like I wouldn't just let someone around me that I'm cool with be in a dangerous situation and I have the chance to do something to help them, then I would just do nothing.
That's kind of different when you're right there. But when somebody's asking you to walk into a blind situation from outside of it, you see what I'm saying? It's one thing if if he was there when homeboy Spider-Man the shit and then fucking jumped into into the window and shit. If he was there at that time, then I could kind of understand. But when you're asking somebody to come from somewhere else, Just like he said, she don't want to come to his fucking project, and he don't want to fucking go over to where they fucking at either. Like, I could, you know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
Know.
Listen,
like,
it was a decision he made right then and there. And although at the time it was frustrating because I didn't know who else to talk to at the time, I'm like, all right, I get it. And I went forward. I met up with her. I got my stuff. Everything ultimately worked out. You know, but let me just bring this up.
Shout out to her for to have the capability though of like inspiring someone to like have superpowers where they will scale a building because they want to fight for their love. Like that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, listen, she was bad. Like, I'm not gonna say like I don't totally get it.
She must be, because
no, she was pretty bad.
That's some shit right there.
She was pretty bad, but not climb up balcony and attack somebody and possibly end up going to prison bad. Like, no, not that type of bad. Like, they didn't stop making bad bitches when they made her. You know, I mean, there's more, out there, right? But I just want to say, let me just say this, like, as someone who presents himself as a Crip, as a gangster and so forth, like, how is this not dry snitching? Like, if it were true, which is not. Like, I went and got this dude, he asked for a legal gun to try to kill somebody. Like, this is crazy. Like, to actually say that, to be a certain type of individual and then to put out stories like this, which luckily in this case it isn't true, but I just want to say to everyone who's considering doing illegal activities with Glasses, just be careful. Because he might come out with an album a couple of years called,
Stop it.
Don Phillips bought a kilo of cocaine on this date. Song number 1, 3455 Madeline Avenue, where it happened.
Doing illegal activities.
Song number 2, here's the social security number. Song number 3, he bought a condo to launder the money. Here's the address.
Funny dude. I don't think he's doing illegal activities at this time.
Yeah, man,
and,
listen.
Again, technically snitching is when you like are doing crime together with some people.
Well, this is dry snitching, though. Is this not dry snitching? Is this not dry snitching? It didn't happen, so I don't care. But look, for example, dry
snitching to me is when you got a problem with somebody, you know what I mean? And like, especially in jail, and instead of, you don't want to go straight to the police and be like, he's bothering me. So you'll be like, as soon as the police is around, you'll be like, yeah, motherfucker, and the next time, you better not do that again, because the next time I see you, that's dry snitching. Like, I don't know how, like, what other terms people have twisted it and bounced it into what dry snitching can be, but that's the specifically thing that I know dry snitching to be.
Okay. Listen.
It's a jail thing.
I've, even on your platform, I've told the story about the dude that ripped me off for the kilo of cocaine. Have I ever mentioned his name?
No.
But
some people would say that you even talking about the story.
Talking about what?
Is a thing.
Who's the guy?
You know what I mean? Like.
You know absolutely nothing. I could be making up the whole situation. I've never mentioned the person's name. I know who he is. We exchanged messages recently, but I've never mentioned his name, because that to me, even though it's past the statute of limitations, that to me would be snitching. That's what I'm saying. To come up with a crazy story about a potential attempted murder and throw my name into it is crazy. It's just crazy work as someone who's presenting himself to be a certain type of way. So, and I guess this is being used to launch a podcast or whatever, but Glasses, as someone that's been doing podcasts now for 17 years, a gimmick won't launch a podcast. You really got to put in the work. You got to put in the work, like Joe and Jada have been putting in work, like Gillian Wallow put in work, like Nori put in work. Like, rappers have been successful in podcasts, but it wasn't from some little viral moment. Like, it's because they actually got the gas and they put in the work and so forth. So it just is what it is. Like I said, I just wanted to address it because this whole narrative of why this even happened was just completely wrong. Just completely wrong. This was not my girl.
As time goes past,
he caught me with someone, and it was totally different from what he said.
Right, but what I'm saying is that, and we know that as time goes past, a lot of times details get foggy.
Right.
People remember shit You know what I mean? You're like, you be talking and they be like, that's not what happened. And y'all both was there. And they're like, what? Like, I had a motherfucker tell me the other day that I wasn't at the Source Awards. The Source Awards with Snoop and fucking, the famous one. Like, right. You know what I mean? And it's probably because he remembers meeting us afterwards at the tunnel. He wasn't at the Source Awards. But he told me, nah, we went straight from your crib to the tunnel or some shit. And I'm like, bro, I remember being in the audience, bro. Like, how the fuck you gonna tell? So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get it. It was a 20-year-old.
We remember things differently, and we remember them how we want to remember them. Sometimes
I get it. Listen, it was a 20-year-old phone conversation, but those 24 hours were imprinted in my brain.
Because
very severely because of what happened. For him, it was just a phone call. For me, it was a set of horrific events. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You might not expressly like asked him for a hammer, right? But he, in his mind, might have thought, oh, he wants me to come with him because you know what I mean? He knows I probably keep a hammer with me, and that's probably what he wants me to bring. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, like so if that was a thought process in his mind, then that's okay. If that's what he thought, and he thought, well, I don't want to do it because I don't want to bring a gun or whatever else, that's fine. I never asked him for a gun. I never asked him to bring a gun.
And you never asked were in a rage. A gun. You never asked for a gun because you were in a rage that you wanted to kill a black man. Right? For the record. Right?
Wait, I didn't ask for a gun. Why?
You didn't ask for a gun because you were in a rage because you wanted to kill a black man.
I didn't want to kill anybody.
Who had wronged you.
Wait, what are you talking about? You talking about his version of the story?
I'm just saying, you didn't want to do this. You didn't ask him for a gun.
No.
And he said that you asked for a gun because you were in a rage.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Because at a black man, and the wronging was he supposedly had fucked your girl or whatever the case.
Right, like I said.
You walked in on that. That part of the
story, which is
so you're saying all of that part is not true, but
it's just not true at all. No, it's not true at
But
all.
the story did exist to a degree.
There's police reports out there. If the story was different, I would have been arrested. He wouldn't have gotten arrested. Like it was a whole thing. Like it's all out there in the paperwork. My story has been consistent this whole time. So this new version of the story popping up in 2025, where everything is different, I'm just like, okay, I just got to address this. It's just not true. It's just not true. So
okay, real quick before we move on from this, right? What if we just take the song that he did as art, just like a lot of these movies are not fucking true. Mm-hmm. Like they'll claim that it's a true story, but we know that they rearranged some shit for dramatic detail and all that type of shit. What if you looked at it in that perspective? In the artistic perspective, where he took artistic license to the story. And although you may not be happy with how your character was portrayed, it sure made a better story than, can I borrow a gun? And he said no.
Well, I didn't ask to borrow a gun, but.
I mean, can you come with me?
Yeah, I mean.
Do you see what I'm saying?
If I wasn't part of this story, and if the story wasn't leaning on, a partial real event, then I would be okay with it. But it's painting me as borderline racist. Like, I caught a black man. Like, you almost make it sound like it was like a white girl and it was a black, like, you see like there's a bunch of inferences that people are making from this as to the whole scenario of me being like, this like hurt dude that caught some dude banging my girl and now in a racist rage, I want to go kill him. And it's like none of that happened. Like none of that happened. So really it's artistically cool, but my thing is I'm being painted as someone that I'm not, creating an event that never happened the way he's saying it. So that's where my problem is. So listen, the song is up. I'm not going to get it taken down or whatever else. I can't even get it taken down if I wanted to. I mean, maybe I could, but I wouldn't bother. It is what it is. But my whole thing is I don't want it to turn into a narrative of like Vlad is secretly racist and really wants to kill the black man or whatever else is being thrown around
after making money in black culture.
Yeah, that type of bullshit. Listen, yes, the guy was black. The girl was black too. But he's the one who attacked me because I was fucking his girl or his ex-girl. That's the real story. That's the real story. And when it came to Glasses, his whole part of the story, I just wanted him to come with me when I went to go meet the girl the next morning. That's it. That's it. There was no weapons involved. Maybe he inferred that in his head, but I never ever said that because I wouldn't put someone in that position of carrying a gun, especially in LA. California, having a carry permit is almost impossible to get. So anyone carrying a gun is probably risking their safety legally anyways, just getting pulled over with the gun. So I didn't want any of that shit. I was just like, yo, here's someone I know. He has this type of image. He's pushed this in his interviews and his songs. So I figured, all right, you know, him or maybe he can get some of his friends together to come with me or something. But that didn't happen, and that's cool. It is what it is.
You had to hold yourself down.
There was really nothing to hold down. I met her in front of them all. She gave me my wallet. We talked, and we kept it moving. That was it. Nothing happened at that point. Like, nothing really bad happened with that whole situation afterwards. It ultimately ended okay. And like I said, I didn't have any grudges towards him. But, you know, if he wants to create this.
I don't think this is a big thing. I think this is something y'all can get past, and hopefully y'all can talk about it. And, you know, this is not really a big thing. Really.
Yeah. It's not. It's not. But like I said, I just feel like I needed to clear up.
Absolutely. You wouldn't want something like that lingering.
Exactly.
Trust me. That's not a good perception.
Yeah.
A lot of people have enough perceptions of you. So I don't think you need any more negative perceptions, especially as it would seem that you would have some sort of racism towards black people.